ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Check this out, we got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, the #1 sports information program in America, the Breakfast Bankroll, with your host, the sports broker, Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and we're back. It's time, myself, good friend and colleague, Mr. Andrew McInnis, to take you around in the world of sports on today's version of the Breakfast Bankroll. We're going to talk NFL, the Packers, CFL, the Elks, of course, and here come the landscape crew, of course. It's literally just started here. I can't make this up. Red Sox, one win away, traveling to JAYS country. A big game at 6:08, of course. Hockey. There's nothing we won't cover here today, so sit back, grab a coffee, grab a bagel, and get your pen and pad together as we're going to pick Andrew's brain in the world of sports. First and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play, download the app. It is free. And of course, AtlantaSteaksandSeafood.com. Steak, seafood, chops, appetizers, wines. Terry's got it all. 4 subscription plans as well. Set it and forget it. Every 30 days, a box of protein will be delivered to your front door, just like he does for me. So without further ado, let's bring him in, Mr. Andrew McInnis. What's up, Andrew?
Mr. JD, not to say I'm counting or anything like that, but 6 more sleeps until NHL hockey matters, and a handful more sleeps before my Blue Jays play either the Red Sox or Yankees. So big time to be a sports fan right now.
Yeah, let's just start in the NHL. We've been talking the last few weeks, the excitement on the Habs. I think it's going to be a fun year. I think there'll be a lot of 6-4, 6-5 games, a lot of first period overs, a lot of team total overs. Maybe it might be a home versus a road effect. I don't know, but give us the temperature in the room on the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, the big temperature is the fact that it's just so nice that players are competing for spots right now. Like in the past, there hasn't really been that level of competition at training camp. Yesterday, they completed their 5th of 6 preseason games, 5-0 win against the Ottawa Senators. For the most part, a lot of regulars in the lineup, but both teams didn't dress their top lines. So 3 main players missing for each team. A big win for the Canadiens, an aggressive victory for the Montreal Canadiens. There's a handful of players, Joe Veleno, Oliver Kapanen, Florian Xhekaj, and Sammy Blais. A couple of these guys competing for the last couple spots on this team. Jeff, I'll keep it short here. All of these guys have impressed in different ways. You know, Owen Beck is another one of them. But it's about what you want, what the coaching staff is going to want. Do they want the skilled players? Do they want the two-way players? Do they want the physical players? Because everybody knows Arbor Xhekaj, the defenseman for the Canadiens, in and out of the lineup as a defenseman, but a tough guy that brings that sense of physicality and toughness to the lineup. Well, not many people are finding out right now he has a younger brother, and that younger brother was drafted by the Canadians as well. Last year, after his season was done in junior, he played in the Laval Rocket with the AHL. He's gotten in 3 fights in 2 games, I believe, here, Jeff. Maybe 3 and 3. But yesterday he got in 2 fights in 1 game. And I think we can give him the decision in both those games. He's a tough guy. So it's really about what the Canadians want as far as their lineup is concerned. If they take him, maybe they're worried they don't want to, develop him if they're not going to play him that many minutes. But right now, it's a really good thing that there's so much competition going on. It means the team is growing. It means they made good draft picks. So the cuts will probably be coming over the next couple of days for the final team. And I am very curious to see, though, what goes on in that last game, because with how much dirtiness there was yesterday, I mean, the potential back-to-back Calder winner for the Montreal Canadiens, or I guess a player that could make the Canadiens go back-to-back, Demidov got slashed on the hand yesterday. A lot of dirty shots yesterday in that game. So we'll see which players get dressed in that last game. But, of course, the coach wants players to play hockey and get ready. So the temperature in the room is expectations are high right now. Players are competing for spots in the lineup. That Atlantic division is going to be real good. Everyone's talking about Barkov's injury, which is real shame for him, missing most of the year and missing the Olympics. You hate to see that. Tkachuk will be out for a good couple months now. So will Florida be able to battle that adversity, Jeff? We'll find out. Tampa Bay, they haven't really been themselves the last few years, despite being in the mix, obviously, in the Atlantic division, and going to the playoffs. They haven't looked like themselves. So we'll see what happens with them. The Maple Leafs, first year with no Mitch Marner. Well, because of no Marner, they were able to bring in Matthias Michelli. They were able to bring in Dakota Joshua. They were able to bring in Nick Waugh. So 3 players equaled not even close to one guy's contract. We'll see if that depth can make up for the lack of a player like that. But it's exciting. And once again, that division is going to be real competitive. And even your Boston Bruins, every quote from that locker room is, hey, we got something to prove here. We're not going to be pushed over. So I'm really interested with how packed that division is, with the Wings and even the Sabres wanting to take a next step, and the Leafs and the Lightning and the it's going to be tough for the Boston Bruins to hang around, but we'll see what happens here.
I mean, realistically, again, what's going on with Pastrnak, the locker room, the new coach, Marchand holding the cup extension with Florida. Florida takes a big hit with Barkov out for the year. That is, but knowing them, they'll just make a trade and they'll bring. I mean, Barkov was the heart and soul there in my eyes. But
two-way hockey too, not just goal scoring. Good defender.
The Bruins' success. Honestly, if Swayman goes back to 2 years ago and stands on his head and takes control of the back end, need a big year from Charlie, of course. I see the Bruins in a lot of 2-1, 3-2 games versus your Habs in a lot more higher scoring games. We're not expecting a lot, honestly, from them. We got the Patriots at 2-2 heading to Buffalo. We got the Red Sox 1 win away going from the Jays. So life without Jason Tatum. And the funny thing is the doctors have never seen a recovery so quick in their lives. And here we go again. He'll be back by the All-Star break. Sure he will, that never ends well. So anyone that wants to drink the green Kool-Aid, get the Celtics at 50-1, and you can throw some pizza and beer on that, of course, and hope that he comes back early there. Let's switch over. 2-0, living in the number 1 seed in the NFC. Travel to the lonely Browns, dog pound, up 10-0 in the 4th, and you lose 13-10. Have no fear. We're going to Dallas on prime time, and 7-point favorites. The return of Micah Parsons, and truth be told, I woke up the next morning. Fell off my bed. I saw 40-40. A tie here. Sorry for all the circus survivors that had the Packers, because a tie is a loss. So your 1,000 plus your proxy money is up in flames there. Defense allowing 40 there. A bye week. Good time for a bye week, I guess. Thoughts on your Packers?
That we can call it a flat spot against the Browns. I thought they weren't maybe going to cover that game. Still thought they were going to win it. So that was tough to watch. And then you're really expecting a bounce back in this game against the Cowboys. All the media attention, the prime time, the Micah Parsons. Yeah, sure. Dallas can put points on the board. Sure. Pickens had his best game he's had so far as a Cowboy. But I was very disappointed in the defensive play. Right now, looking at this team, I kind of want them to go back a little bit to being that long possession team and just not getting into these boxing matches with teams where they're just trading blows the whole game. You went from one game to the other, a defensive battle with low events, not much going on against the Browns, to this matchup against the Cowboys was one of the more exciting and probably higher scoring primetime games we'll see of the whole year. I mean, 40-40, it's hard to beat that as far as taking the over is concerned. But a little bit concerned as far as that's concerned. But I think if we want to use this from a handicap perspective, it tells you all you have to know about the Cowboys, to put 40 points on the board as well for them and still give up 40. That describes Cowboy fans, what they've been going through in a nutshell over the past couple of years here. So for the Packers, I want to see them reset, try and get healthy, try and figure out some new schemes, because this is a team that is so capable. I mean, there was a play early in the game where two players were open right next to each other. They almost ran into each other running for the same ball. They were so wide open. They've got the right plays, but I just feel like we need to be careful about getting into these track meets. And I like that nobody was happy about the defense. Like, nobody cared they put up 40, Jeff, if they're going to give up 40. It's just not acceptable. And I will tell you, I did fall asleep as well. I didn't make it until the end of the game. That was disappointing.
Well, and I had in my highest stake fantasy football league, where I'm wide receiver dominant, a week ago, I picked up Romeo Doubs. Spent a lot of fab money on him with the Jaden Reed injury and a few others picked up. On my bench with 29 points and 3 touchdowns.
I don't like to hear that. I will say, though, Jeff, as you know, over the last couple of years, following the soccer team where I live, I've gotten more into soccer. And when you watch soccer, you are able to learn the value of a draw, as they call it. That is the only sport I will accept a draw in, okay? Football is not a sport meant for ties. I understand how it works, the traveling, the fatigue, the next game factor, the scheduling, all that stuff that goes into the business operations of it. There's players that didn't even know that was a rule, because it only happens, like, what would you say, Jeff, once or twice a year, I would say? So if that. It's not very common. So soccer, it's okay. I guess with how hard they work and how low scoring games are, we'll allow that sport to have draws. 40-40, no. Somebody has to win that game.
Well, they changed the rules, of course. Coin toss, come down, kick a field goal, win the game. The other team doesn't get a shot at the ball. Now it's win the coin toss. If you score a touchdown, the game's over. No, actually, that's the way the rule used to be. But if you kicked a field goal, the other team got the ball. Now I want to say, Andrew, each team does possess the ball one time. Yep. So if you come down, score a touchdown, at least you know you got to score a touchdown. And the funny thing is, instead of 3 downs, now you're working with 4 downs because you need to score a touchdown anyways. But after 10 minutes, now you're looking around and you're just like, Jesus, we just played 70 minutes of football and no one won. So you're going to look back and,
no dice.
Put it this way. 2-1-1 sounds a lot better than 2-2, correct?
Yes, that is true. So it's not a loss, but it's not a win either.
CFL, what'd you see last weekend? What are you seeing, sir?
Well, I'll tell you what, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers continue to be that team that nobody really understands. 40-3. 40-3. I repeat myself. I mean, I get it. They beat up on the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but the Tiger Cats are supposed to be one of the best teams in the East. So, I mean, if we take a look at this Winnipeg Blue Bombers past couple games here, Jeff, they win 40-3 against the Tiger Cats. They win 26-18 against the Red Blacks. previous game towards that one, they lost against the Ticats. But then you look at their game against the West. They lose by more than 10 against the Riders. They lose against the Riders. They lose against the Stamps. Like, this is a team that has been an absolute roller coaster of a football team. And there's no explanation for it. But all we know right now is that this team very rarely has 2 bad games in a row. You know, you see them lose a game by 10 or 12 points. And if they have 2 bad games in a row, that third game they come out strong. At this point, they seem like they have found their offense, 26 points, then 40 points. They're getting healthier. They seem to be back as far as right now is concerned. I'll tell you what, though, the Elks, at this point, they're just a covering machine. They're a covering but don't win. They did get that win last week, but I'm not really too concerned about it. Here's the big storyline, though, Jeff, of the week with CFL, and I don't have a ton of picks yet this week in the CFL, so I'll keep it short. Montreal is back. If anybody out there is interested in jumping on a team over the next little while here, Montreal is back. This is a team that has a quarterback that has not lost a game as a regular season starter. Imagine if that was in the NFL. Imagine if a quarterback has never lost a game as a starter because he was a backup for most of his career so far. Then this year, he played a handful of games, Jeff, got injured, Davis Alexander, of course, and then he just came back officially this past week. So that's something to watch out for with this team. Now, this week, Saskatchewan, Ottawa, Hamilton, Toronto, Calgary, and BC. When I look at this one here, it seems pretty simple to me. When I look at the Toronto Argonauts, they gave up points last week against the Lions team, giving up 27. Hamilton got slapped around. I want to take the road team here. This is a huge rivalry. This is a rivalry in which Hamilton's done very well in. Minus 120 on the highway, literally on the highway, not taking a plane to get here to this rivalry game. I think Hamilton gets the job done. That's one CFL play I like here. Bounce back mode for them.
We've been doing shows for 4 or 5 years, and it's just the same spin, rinse, repeat. The Blue Bombers, it's their time. This is just the time that they shine, and they can get off to a slow start, no problem. They'll be in the thick of it, of course, in the playoffs, I think, and then, of course, will they get to the Grey Cup? We shall see there. You talked about some baseball. You got the Jays hat on. If I asked you the temperature in the room of the Jays, you're enjoying a couple days off. It helps to keep the Leafs off the front page. Are you? Is the mood? We rather see the Yankees versus the Red Sox. Is there a side that you think that you're rooting for to play, or is it just grateful to be in this spot, just bring on whoever and we'll let the chips fall where they fall?
I'll put it this way. I think it's fair to say there's much more bad blood with the Yankees. Social media, players, matchup, media-wise with the teams. There's more bad blood. I don't think the Jays have much beef with the Red Sox. I think a lot of their bad blood and their smack-talking has gone back and forth with the Yankees, and that includes the fan bases as well. So storyline as far as it goes, that's kind of what I think. You know, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeff. When we look at this Yankees team, everybody always talks about home run or bust, right? Like they're a home run hitting team, they're a power hitting team. But the issue is we've seen the bullpen for the Blue Jays give up those long bombs. We've seen guys come in and give up the deep ball. That worries me a bit because the Yankees aren't really a team that plays old school baseball, you know, get runners on, bring them home, like, you know, similar to how the Red Sox ended up winning yesterday's game. That worries me a bit because if the Blue Jays can kind of allow some runners to get on, but they get out of a jam, the Yankees, for me, they could be down and then all of a sudden put 2 guys on base. The Jays put somebody in after Scherzer pitches, and all of a sudden we see a 3-run bomb and it goes south. But I mean, we saw what Crochet did, and a couple of these pitchers for the Red Sox, they're elite. So I am a little worried about that. I think the fan base would love to beat the Yankees, but it's also a little bit scared of them as well, just on how hot they came into the postseason. How do you feel about this Red Sox starting lineup as far as the pitchers are concerned? Like, this team has been pitching pretty well going into the playoffs, though, so that could be a concern.
Well, here's the problem. And again, I'm looking right now. I'm seeing the Red Sox minus 180 now to win the series. You got my alert. You saw how I broke that down. The problem is we lost Giolito, elbow. He will not be pitching this series. Probably he won't be pitching the rest of the year. So everyone moves up a spot. It was an absolute 1,000% must-win for the Red Sox yesterday. What an outing by Crochet. It retired 17 in a row at one point. And the funny is Chapman comes in and he's usually all lathered up, sweating like I've never seen before. And I said to my buddies, I was reaching over and I'm like, there's trouble here because I'm not seeing any sweat here. And he could have brought Whitlock in at the bottom of the 8th and then used Chapman for the 9th to get lathered up, as I like to say. No, Chapman comes in, gets out. Well, Red Sox get an insurance run, which really would have made, if they didn't, the 9th inning even more interesting. 3 straight singles off of Chapman, and you got the bases loaded, no outs. You just need a base hit, most likely to tie this game up. Then Chapman would have probably been done for the day. Now we're on to Whitlock. But my point here is Rodon versus Bello, and we talked backstage before we went live. Huge edge in my eyes on the Yankees side on the pitching department for the first 5 innings here. And Bello has a real hard time getting out of the first couple innings unscathed. So it's Yankees' sense of urgency. Can we get a crooked number up in the first couple innings and have Rodon settle down, because you don't want to go to that back end tied or chasing again, because you want to get to Thursday, Schlichter versus Early, Harrison and Tolley. So again, it's not Pedro Martinez, Schilling, and John Lester here that we're firing at you. So again, for a Jays fan, you're rooting for the Yankees today, and you're rooting for an 11-10 game on Thursday, and you say, come on down, boys. We're waiting for you. Come on down.
I want these arms to be as sore as they possibly can be, and that wouldn't bother me whatsoever. I'm looking at the number here, Jeff. I feel like whenever we've seen these prices for first 5 innings, it's when we've had the most success. And it's kind of like with the team totals, how we liked the 3.5 in NHL plus 110, or, for some reason the minus 105s or minus 115s didn't do as well as the plus 105s, which you'd think the favorite would do better than when it's plus. But now it's minus, we'll call it 120 at most places here for the first 5 innings minus the hook. That's an indicating line for me. It's like sometimes you see a certain price and it means something to you. Like, if this was even money, it would be a little bit different here. But the books are well aware of this pitcher's mismatch. They're well aware that the Yankees have to get off to a good, solid first 5 innings here. I feel like that's the play. Keep it simple, stupid. Target this team in the first 5 innings here. Wouldn't be shocked at looking at runs in the first 5 innings on both sides, though, because yesterday we did see some opportunities, but that game didn't really pick up until the end. I wouldn't be shocked to see some runs on this one compared to yesterday's game.
Well, let me take it a step further for everyone watching. Listen, I love where your eyes are. Yes, I like the Yankees first 5 minus the hook minus 120. Let me take it a step further. The under-over in the first 5 is a 4, juice to the under minus 22 cents. Then I take a look at the team total. Red Sox, 1.5 juice under minus 140. Yankees, 2.5 juiced under minus 152. So what they're basically telling you here is you got a 2-to-1 spot. This is what they're basically telling you. Now I'll take it even a step further, okay? Because the Dodgers are 2.5 over first 5. The Reds 1.5 under minus 154. Dodgers spread Yamamoto versus Lytle first 5. That can't be right. Hold on 1 second here. First 5, here we go. The Dodgers at circa a minus a run and a half first 5, plus 110. You can get the Reds plus a run and a half first 5, minus 35 cents. Everyone else has got a juiced a half run, minus 70. So my point is, the telltale sign, listen, I know this. The Dodgers have almost been kryptonite as well. When I think they're going to score, they lose 2-1. 2-0, 4-0. Next thing you know, 10-3, 10-4, 2-2, 10-5. They opened up a can of whoop ass on Hunter Green, who's a real good pitcher, by the way.
Yeah.
Now it's Yamamoto versus Lytle. They're supposed to do well here. But my point is, ECSI VIPs, we got the Tigers in the series up 1-0. We got the Cubs in the series up 1-0. And what you did with the Yankees, if you jumped in and played the Red Sox, I still like the spot with the Yankees today. If you waited, you can get the Yankees now plus 155 to win the series. If you didn't get the Yankees yesterday, I like that spot if you don't want to play the juice today. Instead of laying the juice, take them plus the 155 today to still win the series, because if they win today, you can go back, play the Red Sox on the plus money, and get out with a free lunch or dinner.
Yeah, exactly. You figure out the math, you figure out your position that you're in, punch it in, figure out what you have to lay down the next game, game 3, and all of a sudden you're laughing there with like you said, lunch, dinner, whatever it is that you're looking for the next day, a free breakfast, free coffee the next day. But when I look at this this Cincinnati team, man, I'll tell you, I feel bad for whoever plays the Dodgers in the playoffs every year. Like, for them to – do you see any kind of nerves on that team last night? Like, you toss the game on. They're putting up double digits here in game 1 of the postseason. You got to love that for them. You think they care? They're playing in this game. It doesn't bother them whatsoever. It's tough to really find anything to like as far as that's concerned. But that will be a play for me in the Yankees game, Jeff. It will be the first 5 innings minus the hook. And to be quite honest with you, I'd love to see it get extremely sweaty in the second half of the game after I cash a ticket. So we'll see what happens there. Padres game, I feel like that one's kind of interesting. Just looking at the expected ERAs versus the ERAs here. 2.78 expected ERA last 5 starts for Dylan Cease. That one, when I'm looking at this one here, and I'm looking at the first 5 innings, and I see, the plus a run and a half kind of intrigues me, and even just sprinkling on the money line, first 5 innings for the San Diego Padres. This is a guy that's been in better form over his last handful of starts here. I wouldn't be shocked if that team wins there this one.
Yeah, it's a tough. Cease is like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get from him. And again, probably his last start. If they don't move on, he'll probably opt out and go into free agency. I don't think they'll pay him, because they were trying to trade him to the Red Sox for Duran, and we didn't move on that one. Seeing that Detroit-Cleveland go to 6.5, still minus the 25 cents, opened at 7 under. Again, first 1 to 4 wins that game there. Again, Cincinnati and the Dodgers, as I put out in the alert with the exactas as well. Dodgers move on from the Reds. Phillies host them. Winner of that series, I think, moves on and beats the Brewers, most likely. I think the Cubs get over to Milwaukee. I wouldn't be shocked if the Cubs gave Milwaukee a run as well. And then to face off against Philadelphia and the Dodgers. So I think either Phillies or Dodgers, as you know, will get through and be in the World Series. And then in the American League, everyone at the ECSI VIP Express knows where our eyes are in the American League. If you want to get there, send me a DM to EC Sports Invest. I'll get you set up for the rest of 2025 for pennies on the dollar there. Before I let you go, of course, circle the board. Any picks, props, or thoughts in NHL tonight? In the NFL for Sunday. Thursday, great game. Rams host 49ers, opened at 3.5, shot to 6, now 6.5. That's an obvious sign to me that Brock Purdy will not be playing. It's the Mac Jones experience there. Anything in the clip that you want to tell everyone about watching and listening?
Well, like I said, that Yankees first five, I do like that one. That's going to be a play we pull trigger on here as far as that's concerned. Thinking about sprinkling on the Padres here. NHL preseason, we're going to go Buffalo Sabres minus 1.5 goals, of course, with the puck line plus 100. Very similar to the handicap we're talking about. That price, you know, people love betting puck lines when they're getting a ridiculous plus 175, 150 price. This price tag is only plus 100 for a reason. It is all go, all gas, no brakes, all regulars for the Buffalo Sabres. Some teams that are good teams, when they have their regulars, they're just getting loosened up. They're getting warmed up. They're not really trying to win. Well, the Buffalo Sabres haven't won anything over the past couple years. This game means something to them. Minus 1.5 preseason game tonight for the Buffalo Sabres here. And as far as everything else is concerned, Saskatchewan is a play I'm looking at in CFL. They're laying a 3.5 points on the road. This is a get-right spot for them. They haven't looked like themselves over the past few weeks. Get a chance to play an Eastern Conference opponent. We know how it's been, Jeff, over the CFL the past few years. If you're struggling, if you're not playing great, go to the East. Play a bottom feeder. You'll put up some points as far as that's concerned. Maybe a Saskatchewan team total there. So no picks for me yet in the NFL, but a handful of picks there to get us going.
Well, as everyone knows, they can go on X at McInnis Picks, and of course, Wager Talk, WT.buzz /AM. Tell them what you got behind the paywall, sir.
We've got the early bird specials are up for the NHL. So if anybody's interested, early bird special, get the full year, get the rest of preseason, NHL props, sides, totals, team totals, same game parlays, whatever it is that we're giving out. You guys get it right to your email, right to your phone as well. The new show starts next Monday. It's called The Pre-Scout. The reason why it's called that, well, we're looking ahead the next day. We're in the room. We're scouting out the next day, the odds, the games, breaking down props. Starts Monday night. Mark your calendars, guys, 10 p.m. Eastern. Jeff will be there with me all the time as well, breaking down games, having guests on, and looking at the next day's slate. The Pre-Scout on Wager Talk TV. You guys look forward to it, and I can't wait to start the show.
Tomorrow, 9:15 a.m., Scotty Webb will be back, of course. We'll be breaking down what's going on in baseball, but we'll be focusing on college football and NFL. And then at 11 o'clock, Tyler Wyatt will be back talking college football. And then at 11:30-ish, Matt Grissom talking SEC football. And, of course, his Westgate college football card. On Friday, why am I drawing a blank here? Jeffrey. I will be on 9 a.m. with Scott Webb again, 10:15, 10:30-ish, Andrew McInnis' channel, and then Nick Hathcote at 11:05. So we got some busy days here. Again, anyone interested in joining the ECSI VIP experience for the rest of 2025 for pennies on the dollar. First three that send me a DM, I'll hook you up through the Super Bowl, so you get a free 6 weeks as well. So for myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one and only Andrew McInnis at McInnis Picks, we wish everyone a blessed day. Enjoy the baseball games, guys, and see you soon.